Welcome back to AC's Make and Repair. Well, today on the channel, you might have guessed by the title, that we're going to make a breadstick roller. A little roller with little concaves in it to cut the dough and make little beads into the form of a breadstick. Come along with me today, I'll show you how I did it. Okay, for those interested in the update on the veggie patch, I'm just doing some final digs in the garden here. And I'm straddling the road, the reason being I don't want to step on this for the final dig. I do about 4 or 5 digs. In our case, we mixed some other soil that we had to make it a little bit more friable as we dug it in. So I've done most of the digging. Just some finishing off, just as they plant stuff, I'll go through it once more probably and hill it up and so forth. There's about 14 beds and they're all probably about 10 to 14 metres long. These ones at this end are a bit shorter actually. The other end must be longer. Yeah, just said all to keep you updated. Okay, so here we are at the lathe, and I have a piece of Burdekin plum. There's a little bit of a shaky edge on it here, but that'll be all getting turned off, so that's not a real issue. The reason I'm using the harder, this is a fairly dense sort of timber, because I want the grooves to cut through the pastry on this little roller. I'm hoping this little piece of timber will do it, and we get stuck in it right now. I've cut the cross in the end to facilitate my drive, helps grip that better. We'll just put it between centres now, rough it out and go from there. There's actually a little knotty piece in the middle of this, right about here. Oh, it's actually worse than what I thought. Thought it was only on the edge. I'll turn it down, see if it's any good. If it's no good, I'll have to change pieces of timber. I'll give it a bit more of a turn, but I think we might have a rubbish piece here. You never know, we may get away from it. Depending on where I put my little grooves, we might get away with it. There is some shaky pieces still. There's little shakes here and there through this piece. I thought I'd get away with it, but I might not. I may just get away with it. Okay, so I'm going to turn roughly a little bit of a flat spot either end. I'm not going to be very wide with this, which is a bit of a shame because that's right smack bang where I want to do the groove. So we'll see how we go. I think I'll measure up a little bit first. So I've got this little gouge. I'm actually going to use it to make the hollows. And then we'll smooth it off with a bit of steel with some paper on it. So I will go from centre out, I think. There actually. I think I'll be right if I go centre out. Righty, I'm going to just use a small skew and just pare away from the edges of that peak. That's your peak, that's your cutting point to cut the pastry with. We'll pare away a little bit of that, and then we'll use the gouge just to hollow it out. Never done this before, so let's try it. What I've got to do is maintain the parallelness of it. So what I don't want is a hollow in it. So what I need is actually to keep those points as the same height. I think I may be better off grinding an old tool just to make these out of. Do the roughing with the gouge and then do the half moons. Like I said, I need to keep these points all the same height. I can't afford to go lower with one. It will won't cut as good. I'll just go and make a tool up to do that, I think. Alright, I've made up a little scraper. I hope you can see that pretty well. Little half moon, it's about a 3/8 radius, and I've made it as uniform as I can. Tip of an old file, not the idealist tool, but it's a scraper. I'll bring my resting a bit closer so it doesn't chatter or there's no fear of it breaking, which I don't think it will anyhow. But I tried it on the first one, works excellent, so let's go with that, I think. So I'll bring that scraper, that resting a little bit closer, tighten it off, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to do this bad spot next because I might be wasting my time, but I'll try to get rid of this bad spot. If it works right here, I'll be fine with the rest of them. It's doing a fantastic job. So let's go to that bad spot, which is this one right here. I think I've got it without it breaking, so that's great. The next worst one is right here, so I'll do it again. The one beside it, and then the rest of them should be fine. Okay, so it came up very good, I think. What I'm going to do is go through and just make sure the depths are roughly the same. My daughter was saying that with the dough, when you use it, it'll expand a bit 4 times to make these sticks. So these, like I said, it's about a 3/8 or 10mm roughly radius. So I'm hoping they don't go to 40mm, that's for sure. But they're going to be very thin, so I reckon I only go about that big myself, but we'll see. I'll just check the depths on all those. Right, now we're going to go, I'll just peel away this here with this while I'm here. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a handle, whatever I can get it down to diameter wise. I'll try to taper it off a little bit, I think. I'll have to come into about here at this end, so I'll make the other end the same. And so we'll just do that right now. Okay, we might give that a bit of a sand now. Get rid of some of these little blemishes that are left in it. Bit of chatter there. And make that look a little bit neater. Not totally satisfied with it, a little bit of chatter marks here. That bit of grain there was really tough on me, that was. I'll give that a bit of a coarser sand, I think. Well, that definitely took some of it out. So Alright, that seemed to come up really nice at the end. That was a bit of non-toxic mineral oil. And what we're going to do now is I'll take that over, cut the ends off the bandsaw, sand the ends, and then it's a matter of put a little bit of that oil on the ends, and then it's a matter of testing it out to see if it's going to do what I thought it was going to do. Alright, so we'll take it out and go and cut them ends off now and do the rest of it. Okay, there it is. I think it'd come up quite nice. It's beautiful looking timber, this Burdekin plum, and we'll go and give it a test here. Okay, so here's some dough that's been rolled out to about 1/4 inch thick in our case, and then we roll it with the roller, and as you can see it cuts down in between there like that, and these are the ones that are just separated, okay, on a piece of baking paper. We worked out if you roll it out on the baking paper it saves a lot of mucking around transferring it over like that sort of, okay. Rightio, thanks for joining me today as I made this little breadstick roller or rolling pin, whatever you want to call it. There's a couple of things I would like to mention. If you're looking at making one, try to make all the peaks of these exactly equal. As I said earlier when I was turning it, try to keep these all level in a straight line. If you don't, if you happen to sand one down a little bit lower, it will not cut through the pastry to the board or whatever you're rolling out on. Hence it won't cut the breadstick out properly, which is not an issue because it will tear off if it's not majorly different. But try to keep all those peaks dead straight and in line. That is a big tip. I just formed that tool to do that, and I tried to keep them as uniform as possible. Doesn't matter if they're a little bit different. Adds a bit of character, I think. But there you go, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll join me on the next one. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Appreciate all you guys and girls out there that have subscribed. And like I said, comment on it, share with your friends, that would be very appreciated. Till next time, bye for now.